We are now starting with step 11 of the tutorial in task 2. So in step 11 we want to find out the total sale amount. I'll type in total sale for in G1, and total sale is computed by multiplying the quantity and the sale price. So the quantity is in F2, sale price is in E2. So before that, let me just make this bold, and I also want to change the font slightly here to Arial and to 10. All right. So to obtain this total sale amount, like we were talking before, it would be a multiplication of E2 and F2. E2 shows the sale price and F2 shows the quantity, equals E2 times F2 gives me the total sale amount. And now I want to use the same formula for everything else. So once again, the trick is to locate this rectangle in this cell at the lower right hand corner of this cell and drag and drop it for all the other cells, and they all have the total sale amounts. All right. The one thing that I would do is the overall total, and that is obtained by adding all these things, right? So from G2 to G11, and the formula for that is equals to sum, and I can give a range sum of G2 to G11. G2 to G11 would give me the sum of all these things, and I would get $5,000.05 because of this formula. Sum G2 to G11 adds all these things up and gives me this result, right? So we did compute the total sale for each one of these line items, and then we added a sum formula here. Now let's move to the next step, which is step 11. Step 12. In step 12, we want to find out the total sale amount for specific items, and for this we are going to use the sum if formula. So for example, I can bring in item number and total sale as separate into separate cells on the spreadsheet, item number and total sale. And now the item number is going to be 10 and 12. So what I want to find out now is that for item number 10, what is the total sale amount for item number 10. All right. So to do this, I could write a sum if formula. The sum if will work like this. Sum if of look at the range, and the range in this case is D2 to D11. So in this range, if I find item 10, all right, then add all the total sale amounts in G2 to G11. Right, so that's what this formula is doing. Look at D2 to D11. Wherever it matches 10 in D2 to D11, which are these first 5 rows, take the corresponding amounts in G2 to G11, add them up, and that's the result is given by the sum if formula. All right. So I get this because of this formula, and this is presumably the summation of all these first 5 values G2, G3, G4, G5 and G6. And if I want to change this format to currency, I could do that. Select that and currency, and okay, I'll get this one. The same thing, I could extend it here, and I could extend it by dragging and dropping. But if you notice, this formula is not going to give me too much of a too correct. It's not very it's not correct at all, because it changes the range when I drag and drop automatically. So instead, I do want to have D2 to D11, and since I want the item number right now to be 12 for this value, I would change this to 12, and I will change this to G2 to G11 once again, right? So one thing I could do is, instead of the item number, typing the item number here, I could look up the item number from 12 that's available in B20. So I could replace this with B20, and I'll get the same answer, right? Let's now move to the next step, which is the computes total sales by each region. Use the formula sum if northeast to G2 to G11, right? A2 to A11, I look them up, and then G2 to G11, I add the values in those regions. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put together a region and total sale by region, and I'm going to bold them, and I'm going to type in these northeast, southeast, and I can actually copy and paste this southwest, northwest, and I'm also going to get midwest here, right? So don't worry about these borders. I'm not going to go into the details on how to get rid of those borders, but I could use this sum if formula. So if I use sum if, I need to use A2 to A11, all right, A2 to A11, and I'm going to look it up based on E19, and I want to add G2 to G11 wherever it matches northeast in A2 to A11. For me to be precise in this, I would like to get rid of these spaces at the beginning, at the end, and at the end. So the experiments that I did in the past, by adding all these spaces, I am going to get rid of those things, so we get the correct answers. And now I come back here, and I know that it's looking at A2 to A11 for the value that is in E19, which is northeast, and then it will take the values from G2 to G11 wherever it matches northeast, which is 219, and also the northeast is matched in G7 499, the 219, the 499, and all those two things are added, and then we get this value, right? And I'm going to change this the format of the cells to currency to be consistent. The other thing I'm going to do here is to have the dollar symbols. I'll explain what these dollar symbols do for I'm going to put these ranges I'm going to log these ranges A2 to A11 and G2 to G11 by typing these dollar symbols in front of the 2 and in front of the 11 for both A and for both G, right? So if I do this and now I drag and drop, the range does not change. The range of these cells A2 to A11 remains the same just because I put the dollar symbols. So it is always going to look for southeast, it's going to take it from E20. E20 is the southeast, and but it's still going to look in this range, and it's going to take the values from G2 to G11, add them up and give us the result. So using these dollar symbols when appropriate is going to save you a lot of time, because this is a way for us to tell Excel not to change these ranges when we drag and drop. So by placing these dollar symbols here, by dragging and dropping for all these, it does not change that those A2 to A11 and G2 to G11 remain the same. If you don't have the dollar symbols, then Excel would change A2 to A11 to A3 to A12 for the second one, and so on and so forth. You notice that there is the southwest is not coming out to be correct. So there might be something incorrect with the formula, or with with spaces that I have. So I'm going to get rid of these spaces, and once I get rid of the spaces in here, when I copied and pasted from here, there were some spaces, and the spaces, because of the spaces, it was not an exact match, and that's why I was having it as 0 initially. But once I got rid of those spaces, I get the correct answer here. I do want you to repeat the same thing for SUMIF formula by store. And to achieve that SUMIF formula by store, one simple way for you to do that is to take this and copy them here. I selected all those, and I'm going to copy them to this place, and instead of region, I would change it to store, and these stores are 200, 300, 400, 500 and 600. I will take them and I'll copy and paste them here. And for this I have to change them to H19, but the reason it is 0 right now is stores are in column B, so I have to change this to column B, right? SUMIF B2 to B11. All right, and I will look for them in B2 to B11, and I look for that in from H19. H19 has 200, and then I drag and drop these things here, and I need to see why it's not quite coming out right. For the store number, it should be and I have to change, of course, I have to change not J, but the total sale is G. So if you go back here and then change this to G, G2 to G11, and drag and drop this, I'll get the correct answers. All right. So in step 13, in step 14 we need to find out the total sales by each store. It asks you to create your own SUMIF formula. No sweat, it's easy to do. We got the store numbers 200 through 600 here, and total sale is, we write the SUMIF formula that says SUMIF B2 to B11, because the store numbers are in the B column. H19 has store number 200, and wherever it matches 200, get those numbers from G2 to G11, add them up. In this case it's 219 and 499, 80, and this value is shown here.